Hello and welcome to Teeing Off with RevSportz. I am Gargi Raut, and joining me today for this conversation is Ishan Shahane, Bharat Ramraj, and G. Rajaraman. We have lots to talk about, starting with, of course, the Yashasvi Jaiswal century, Mumbai Indians' fifth loss in the season, and squash player Saurav Ghoshal's retirement after 21 years in the sport. There's a lot to discuss, so stay tuned. Ishan, of course, we have to start the show with the phenomenal century that we saw. Yashasvi Jaiswal hit last night. कैसा लग रहा है आपको वो सेंचुरी देख के?
बहुत अच्छा लगा गागी। आई थिंक जायसवाल का सेंचुरी और परफॉर्मेंस ड्यू था क्योंकि ही वाजंट परफॉर्मिंग अप टू हिज बेस्ट। तो जब वो क्रीज पे आए तो काफी रिलैक्स लग रहे थे। ही सीम्ड लाइक ही वांटेड टू बी देयर एंड देयर इज अ डिफरेंस इन द अर्लियर गेम्स। आई जस्ट फेल्ट दैट ही सीम मोर काम एंड कंपोज। तो मुझे वो डिफरेंस काफी नजर आया एंड इन माय ओपिनियन आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट रियली हेल्प्ड हिम. So that's what it shows, Gagi. Like even if you have a bad period or a slump, all you have to do is give yourself a bit of time in the middle. थोड़ा सा वक्त देना है अपने आप को, अपने आप पे भरोसा रखना है. And once you get through that period, then it's back to playing your best. That's what we saw with Jaiswal, and just a fantastic 100. I think he. When he got that 100, he was celebrating as well, and just showed the emotion of the man because he clearly wanted that. और उसको चाहिए था कि मैं भी वापस परफॉर्मेंस करूं because Josh Butler as well had got 100 last game. So it's really good to see him get 100 and good news for the Royals, both of the openers in top-notch form and the squad looking probably the best in the IPL at the moment, Gagi.
Raja, what do you think? Because यशस्वी जायसवाल ने स्टार्टिंग से एंड तक बैटिंग किए, नॉट आउट रहे. उनके सेंचुरी के बारे में बात कीजिए. व्हाट इम्पैक्ट विल दिस सेंचुरी हैव?
एक शानदार इनिंग है. जो शॉट उन्होंने खेले दर्शाता है कि वो अच्छे लय में वापस आ रहे हैं. इट्स अबाउट टच एंड आई थिंक इज फाउंड हिज टच. कुछ खराब इनिंग चले उनके लिए, रन नहीं बने, लेकिन वो खराब प्लेयर थोड़ी ना है. बहुत बेहतरीन क्रिकेटर है और जो शानदार शॉट्स खेले कल उन्होंने, आई थिंक इट शोड के खुल के जब खेलते हैं, जब अपने आप पे दबाव हटा देते हैं तो बहुत बेहतरीन प्लेयर होते हैं. लेकिन मुझे ये भी लगता है गार्गी के जिस तरीके से संदीप शर्मा ने गेंदबाजी की, उनका काम काफी आसान हो गया. और खास करके जॉस बटलर आउट होने के बाद वो अपनी जिम्मेदारी पूरी तरीके से निभाए. आई थिंक दिस इनिंग्स विल प्लेस हिम इन द सेलेक्टर्स माइंड वन मोर टाइम if ever it slipped out of their minds.
Bharat, Yashasvi is not leaving any stones unturned, is he?
Yeah, see, obviously the selection, there are lots of openers for the World Cup squad. Shubman Gill also, some are saying he could be the backup opener. But Jaiswal has done what he had to do by scoring 100. Yesterday, I guess it came down that Gerald Coates' 1 over, maybe the second or third over, when he troubled Jaiswal, but he hit a 6. I think that over turned out to be the turning point for Jaiswal because he got through that over, hit a 6. He was troubled in that over, but still waited through that over, and I think that really changed the fortunes for Jaiswal. After that, he wasn't going to look back. A player like Jaiswal, I guess, needed one shot or two shots to get going, and I guess that over changed the fortunes for him.
Absolutely. And ईशान, हमें मुंबई इंडियंस की भी थोड़ी बात करनी पड़ेगी क्योंकि पांचवा लॉस है इनका इस सीजन में. दिस सीम्स मोर देन जस्ट अ ट्रांजिशनल फेज. व्हाट आर योर थॉट्स?
हाँ, मतलब इस बार थोड़ा अलग लग रहा है गागी. दिस इज नॉट सीमिंग लाइक अ चैंपियन साइड और the dynamics aren't working together. Even in the field, they're missing chances, missed fields. So ये champion unit तो बिल्कुल नहीं लग रहा. And I'm not sure, maybe it's something that's going on internally with the team. Maybe there's some combinations that are not working. And maybe the new leadership has taken a toll on them. So these are all assumptions on my end. I'm not sure about this, but clearly there's something that's not working right for them. So ये Mumbai Indians unit थोड़ा off लग रहा है. They've had one or two good performances here and there with the Rohit Sharma 100 and Surya Kumar getting those 70s and 50s. But besides that, and of course a Bumrah who's bowled really well. But unfortunately, besides these three players, there are very few that we can actually think of and say that, hey, these people put their hands up and really perform. So ये Mumbai Indians का squad थोड़ा unsure लग रहा है at the moment और थोड़ा uncertain लग रहा है गागी. So I think they'll be under the pump, they'll be feeling a lot of pressure, and I think Hardik Pandya as a captain will have a lot of thinking to do.
Raja, what about you? Where do you think MI is going wrong at this moment? Is it the captaincy? Is it the players? What's happening?
I think you hit the nail on its head, Gargi. It's a captaincy. You have a captain who walks into bat at number 7. He's supposed to be the all-rounder, leading the side from the front. Of course, yesterday he would have wanted to send the left-handed bat uh, ahead of him because they'd lost too many wickets. But you want the captain to put his hand up and then show to his teammate that he wants to lead from the front. I haven't seen that happening from the Mumbai Indians captain so far. Hardik Pandya is capable of doing better. We all know that he led Gujarat Titans to two finals in a row. But we now begin to doubt if it was his captaincy or whether it was Ashish Nehra's man management from outside the boundary line that made the difference. But Hardik is made of better metal. I'm sure he will soon come good. But his captaincy, if it can lift itself up, I think it will work wonders for Mumbai Indians.
And Bharat, does it seem like, similar question to you, is it just a transitional phase? Do you think there's a point in this season where they can come back, Mumbai Indians?
Oh, this season it looks very difficult. Maybe they have to look at next season. They're slightly better off than Royal Challengers Bangalore, but still it doesn't look good for them. Yeah, but I think it's a collective failure. Captains as well. Hardik Pandya himself makes some strange decisions. Birdie, even though he gave a few runs to Jaiswal in that over, actually troubled Jaiswal. He could have used him for one more over. He took him off the attack. He never uses Bumrah in the first over. At least he's been promoted to the second over now, but he could have definitely used him in the first over because you have to use your best bowler right up front. That he doesn't do. Obviously, with the bat, he's not firing, so he can't really lead from the front, neither with the ball. Yeah, captaincy is not going well, but even their bowling attack doesn't look good. If you look at their bowling attack, yeah, Bumrah is from another planet. Boyd's he gets some wickets, but outside of that, who is really fighting for them? Madhwal this season hasn't been good. Chawla has been so. So yeah, it's not like the bowling attack is firing either. So I think it's a collective failure. Obviously, it starts at the top. If a captain is not firing, then it becomes difficult to lead from the front.
Raja, now moving on to squash. Yesterday, one of the greatest squash players from India, Saurav Ghoshal, announced his retirement after serving the sport for 21 long years. When you look back on his journey, Raja, what are the moments that stand out to you?
He's becoming the first Indian to get into the world top 10 was brilliant. And till date, he remains the only one there. I think he served Indian squash really well. But he's retired from professional squash from the PSA World Tour. Glad that he will continue to represent India in the Asian Games and possibly the Olympic Games when squash makes its debut in Los Angeles. I think he's been a great servant of the game, a wonderful ambassador to India, and he's a great conversationalist. I truly hope that India uses his intelligence, his intellect, his experience to rise as a greater sporting nation.
And Raja, in his statement, Saurav said that he'd still like to play for India. What do you think about that? Him
I think
writing that specifically.
yes, Gargi. I think he's got a few more years left at this level because at the professional world tour level, the professional squash tour, he might not have the kind of fitness that is demanded to be traveling week in and week out and performing as well. But to play for India in the Asian Games and perhaps in the Olympic Games, I think it will be wonderful if he just present there with the youngsters in the squad and he can really lift them up. He's got a few more years left in him. I think it's a wise decision to step down from the professional tour and be available to play for India. Like I said, he's been fantastic for India. He's been the greatest squash player that India has produced. We have seen Bhuvaneshwari Kumari win a number of national titles. We've seen Joshna and Deepika do really well. But when you think of squash, you think of Saurav Ghoshal.
Absolutely. And finally, before we end this show with an exclusive interview of D. Gukesh, Raja, thoughts on the youngest ever candidates winner. That's not an easy feat to achieve. What was your reaction, after hearing the news?
Gargi, is fantastic. This tournament is very different to other championship tournaments, basically because winner takes all. There's only one slot available to go to the final of the World Championship and be the challenger. And what Gukesh did in that 13th round was, instead of settling for a draw or instead of looking at a slightly weaker position midway through the game, he told himself that he got to pursue a victory, and he found it in the 13th round. I think that is what makes champions. And to me, the 13th round is the highlight. He'd lost a match before, but to come back and then to push for victory, you got to see so many draws in that final round. But Gukesh really did well to win that 13th game. I think this is what champions are all about. And I'm so glad that at 17, he's not only the youngest candidate winner, he's also going to be possibly the youngest world champion sooner than later.
Well, we all hope that happens. And that wraps up our conversation. We'll leave you with a very special exclusive interview with the youngest ever candidates winner, D. Gukesh. Take a look and stay tuned to RevSportz.
Has it sunk in? Has it started to?
Probably not fully. I mean, I'm obviously very relieved. I was watching the other game, and when I got to know I won the event, I was fully relieved. I'm so happy. But it'll probably take a bit more time to, fully sunk in.
I spoke to Anand, I spoke to Vishy, and he said intense drama. Maybe history needs this kind of drama. Your thoughts?
Sure. I mean, huge the last round was so exciting. Obviously, it's like super stressful for the players, but in terms of the attention and the interest in the sport, it was a wonderful thing. I think everything went absolutely perfectly for chess today.
Now, just a little pause. I mean, when you went into the tournament, obviously you focus on the process and not on the result. But just make us understand, when you went in and when you started playing really well, you played better with, more points with black and all of that. Just tell us a little bit.
Sure. Coming into the tournament, I was not really thinking about what are my chances, who are the favorites, all these things. I just wanted to play good chess, and I knew that if I continue, if I keep playing well and I stay at a very good shape and keep my spirits up, I have every chance to win the event. And it helped that I had a good start. I won with black against Prag, and I was playing some good chess. I was getting into the rhythm, and from the start I played some very good chess. And the round 7, the loss against Firuzia was the only negative result of this event, but that also provided me with energy to play the second half with more motivation. So yeah,
a lot of people told me that after sort of we put out your morning clip with Maria, that look at the man, and right through the tournament when we listened to commentary, that you were able to soak in pressure. You looked unfazed. Of course, inside there must have been pressure. But can you tell us a little bit, how did you sort of control the mental thing? Because people make mistakes when you're under pressure.
Sure. I can't say I didn't feel any pressure or I didn't go through nerves. I had lots of them. I was, I had a lot of expectations and lot of pressure for sure. But I think the key thing was I kept a strict routine, and I was following it every day. That put me in a good shape, and I had a clear head. So
What was the routine?
Well, I can't really specifically say like all the things, but just what some things I do before the game or after the game, just to maintain the momentum, just to go with the rhythm. It's very helpful, I think, and yeah, I was just trying my best to control my nerves and just give it my best on the board.
Last 2 questions, because I promised your father 5 minutes, and I'll keep to that. When he came running and he mentioned it to you, Can you just take me back to that moment between father and son?
It was probably the best moment in the in the 3 weeks here. I mean, so what happened was me and Gajewski were following the Fabi Nepo game, and at some point we just couldn't watch. It was so nervous. We were so nervous, so we decided to take a walk outside. And yeah, we were just chatting casually, and we turned back and I saw my father coming back, and he said, "It's over. I won it." And we all were super excited. We were hugging. We were all smiling, and it was yeah, beautiful moment.
Brilliant. Last question. Your candidate's champion. Next step, all of us will start putting pressure. Now, Gukesh, world champion, youngest ever. Kasparov at 22, you are 17, turning 18. 27.50, the fastest. Anand, I mean, overtaking Vishy as the legend of Indian sport after 36 years. Now this, expectations will be sky high. Obviously, it's not sunk in, but clearly that's the final one. Next step, world championship.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and the goal is clear, and I will try to focus on the process. I will try to prepare well. I'll try to be at my absolute best for the match, and yeah, I'm really eager to play the World Championship.